All right, just start off, just so proud of our team. What a big game. What a great atmosphere. Unbelievable, with just our fan base. The energy that was in Doak Campbell Stadium tonight was remarkable. Our players, we knew this game. I mean, you get to this game, rivalry game, we knew it could come down to literally one play, and that's that's what showed up tonight. And I mean, our guys, they just continue to battle. There was plenty of mistakes that were made, plenty of things that we're gonna have to get corrected. But in the moment of truth, they just continue to respond, and that's who they are. That's why we work the way we work. That's why we challenge them the way they challenge. So in those moments, right, that they're going to be able to rise up and make the play that's necessary, and just continue to have each other's back. It's a football team that loves each other, and they work hard together. They challenge each other. They continue to push, and for that game, I mean, it's just so big for the program, so big for our fan base, the university, everybody involved, and I'm just proud of these players to be able to win the last three in this series is big, and continuing to build upon that, to be able to finish up ACC play undefeated. All right, I think it's nighttime in history that we've been able to do that. That's a big step. Tonight, and I said this a year ago. This is a special program. This is a special place. Unbelievable tradition. Unbelievable, legacy that we've got to push and work to uphold. But to be able to change the walls here is something that's important. And to be able to get back-to-back, 10-win seasons, to be able to continue to elevate to that standard within our program is something that I am proud of our players for. As they've worked so hard and they put in so much. Just really pleased with what they did, and what they've done up to this point of the season. Obviously we got 2 more regular season games to go. But finishing up ACC play undefeated was something that was a big step for our program as well. And it was a great game. Excited for the things that we've seen, and just the way that our players continue to respond.
First one will be Ira to your right. So many players have played such a huge role in this team and what you guys have done the last 4 years. Was it kind of fitting for Jarian to come up with the final interception?
Yeah, no, it was special, and he's a young man that he's worked very, very hard and just improving, and he's grown up so much on the field. He's grown up so much off the field. Just who he is as a man is something that I respect and love him. I mean, he's just a really special person, and for him to be, in that moment, to have the opportunity to seal the game, to finish it like that, really proud of him. You talk about guys that, Kalen DeLoach was somebody that was special for us tonight. And, talk about guys that have been here through the journey as well. And, Kalen, he's been great all year. I think he's, playing at an elite level, there at the linebacker position. But for the impact that he's making on the game, he showed up big. And, he broke the rock for us there after the game. And, just so very impactful, and all the things that he's doing. It was just a wonderful night to see those guys and to see the joy on their faces, being able to get that win, knowing what it means, just especially with the journey that we've been on. That was it was definitely great for those guys that have kind of been through the process and been through the journey.
Staying with that theme, I was going to ask about DeLoach, but I'll respond accordingly. Malcolm Ray had the pressure on the pick on the last play. Another guy been here a long time through it. For those guys that have stuck through this, winning 3 in a row in this series, being at 10-0, having everything in front of them, how important is it for that group especially?
No, it's huge. And, you talk about this game. This game's going to be remembered forever. And, every person that's ever played in it, everybody that ever coached in it, they know the importance of this one. And to be able to, to where we were, 4 years ago, and what it, where it had been, to be able to come out and win the last 3. I mean, just the continued progression. And in this game, it's always going to be a battle. There's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be adversity that shows up. But I think you see the maturity of the guys that have been through it. And whether they're players that have been here for 4 or 5 years, or guys that have been here for 8 or 9 months, right? We've all said yes. we've all said yes to a standard. We've all said yes to an expectation. We've all said yes to continuing to push daily to get better, and maximizing the opportunity that's here. And to see us play as a team, because it was all phases: offense, defense, special teams. Everybody had to show up big in moments. The Keon was huge with the big punt return, and then the touchdown. I'll tell you, Alex Mastromano, right? I mean, that was, I think he might have got a swing on the hammer there at some point, but he flipped the field for us. Really did a good job with being able to, help us win some of that field position battle. But then obviously offensively, defensively, the plays that were necessary. We gave up some things that we don't ever want to, really give up, and we're just, you got to finish a couple plays. Offensively, there were some times where we kind of stubbed our toe. That was a good defense. It's one that has definitely improved and playing at with a lot of confidence in what they're being asked to do. And we had some missed opportunities that we get to grow from. But I'm proud of this team, and just all the guys, and like I said, all the journeys. But it's really special for the ones that have been here throughout it. And it's definitely great to see Malcolm out there and you're making an impactful play in that moment.
The defensive performance in the second half, one play with standing was pretty dominant. I guess what went into that with effort, physicality, and even maybe some scheme adjustments in the second half?
Yeah, there's a few adjustments. I mean, they did a good job, coming in, trying to mix up a couple different looks and things they were doing out of personnel groupings. But I thought our guys, adjusted well. I thought they played, at a very high level. I mean, even the big touchdown they had. I mean, we got two guys in position, just unfortunately weren't able to finish it, in that moment. And that's part of this game. It's a great throw by Emery, and obviously George made a really nice catch and run there afterwards. But that's. It's every play. It's a game of inches in this game, and the passion, the intensity, all things that go into that one. I mean, it's big, but to finish tonight and be able to get that victory was just, like I said, was huge.
Mike, what was the message to the team in the locker room afterward, just knowing how many of these games that you guys have played and come out victorious, and then also knowing there's still a lot to play for?
Well, I mean, that's what you sit there and you look at the way these games have been won, and the emotional swings, the good, the bad. There's been times we've had guys injured. There's been times that one side of the ball is performed well, and the other one's had to really respond throughout it. But you see a team. And, I mean, any great team that I've ever been around, you got to have that. You got to have that as a critical component. Is that, when times get tough, when things are challenging, when maybe it doesn't go exactly like you thought it would, on a play or in a quarter or whatever that is, that you can just dig down deep. You have the grit, you have the confidence to be able to overcome and go get better. And that's what this team has done, and they've done it over and over throughout the course of the season. Played at a very high level. I mean, this is a great team, and it's one that I'm honored to be able to coach, and just excited for where we're going as we continue to go through this journey.
Kind of along those lines, I think the position you're in, I mean, being top 5 almost all year, I feel like you're often to get teams' best shots, and I mean, in this rivalry too, you're often going to get a team's best shot. What do you think it is about your team? It feels like time and time again this year they've kind of responded when they get punched in the mouth.
Well, I mean, it's ultimately that's what this game is going to do, and when you're a top program, which we are, I mean, you're not sneaking up on anybody. You're going to get all that people have, and it's going to be it's going to be challenging. That's what I love about it, and it's everything that we do in our program for starting in January, academically, the sacrifices our guys make socially. I mean, just who they are. I mean, to go out there and just to push to be their best. I mean, I say it all the time. I mean, this program is not for everybody, but when you see the commitment and the belief, the work ethic, just the relationships, it's what makes it special. And, we've got an incredible group, and they really care about each other. And I think that's even to go back to Andrea's question. I mean, that's one of those components that you can't fake it. Right? When you have guys that truly love each other and they're willing to push, and coaches, players, everybody involved, it doesn't mean you're not going to have a difficult time or even adverse situations within the team. But you have the example, you build the trust, and I'm so proud of our guys for what they're willing to put in, and obviously the position they've put us in.
Coach, the team got Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman both back this week, and they both made some huge plays down the stretch to give this offense a spark. What can you say about the significance of having those guys back healthy, not only for this game, but down the stretch the rest of the season?
I mean, they're great players, and obviously there's there are tremendous matchup issues for opposing defenses. It was good to see them get out there and work together, and obviously some of the plays that they made were monumental in this game. But I also love Ja'Kai Douglas had a huge play there. A guy that had to step up a week ago when they were out. You see just a variety of guys that that are ready for the opportunity. And some games guys will have more. Some games guys will have less. But everybody's got to serve a role. Everybody's got to be ready when the moment calls upon them. And once again, just even in the run game, there were some challenging things with just looks and numbers and things that we were seeing. But our guys just continue to battle, and it was great seeing Trey get out again, and just proud of our guys. And it's definitely a team effort, and whether it's on one side of the ball or just collectively with all three phases.
Mike, there have been a lot of really good teams, really good Florida State teams that in this rivalry have suffered some heartbreaking losses to that program. Kind of looked like there in the final couple minutes it was coming down to maybe a play or two. How did your team avoid a heartbreak to that program?
It goes down to the training. It goes down to belief, confidence. With all the emotion and everything that's around it, can you focus on going to do your job? And this game is what it should come down to. Right? Anybody that's ever been a part, I've been around some rivalry games, and obviously there is nothing like this game. And we're fortunate we got two big ones, and the only ones I talk about before the season, before winter workouts. But this is what it's about. And you want to be a part of games like this. It's why you come to Florida State, to be able to be in an atmosphere like we got to be in, because it prepares you for all things that are ahead. This was a championship atmosphere, a championship approach, all those things. When you play in a game like this, it takes it all. And like I said, there's been a lot of teams that have come up short, but this is a very confident team. When those moments arise, they know what it takes because they put in the work.
Coach, you mentioned it a little bit already, but can you talk about the special teams play today? On the one hand, you had the onside kick that obviously didn't work out, but then Keon's punt return, and then Alex flipping the field for you guys. Yeah,
I thought our guys, did a really good job, in special teams. We took a shot on the surprise onside, and unfortunately, and all credit to their player, made a really good play. We got a little bit bigger hop than what we've had in our preparation of it, but he made a great play. And but I was confident in how we would respond even in that situation if we didn't get it. Something we had talked about, something we were prepared for. But you see the way our guys, the work that's been invested in special teams. You see how that's carrying over there on game day, and you never know which unit it's going to be, whether it's punt return, obviously kick return. Our coverage units, had to show up big. There were some challenging situations. Anytime Alex was flipping the field, but it's the coverage units that have to get down there and be able to get them down. And so I thought just the belief in that is something that also speaks to the culture. And we got a lot of great players that play on our special teams unit, and we got some newcomers that I think are going to be wonderful players just by what they put on display on those teams. And so proud of our special teams group, and was so very impactful for this game.
Coach, you said you have coached in different rivalries. What makes this one special, in your opinion?
That was a field full of very talented players, and it's when you take great talent, great ability, but the passion, the intensity. It's 365 days, right? That their fan base is going to talk about it, our fan base is going to talk about it. What do you want them to say? And that's the opportunity of what we've had. And for the last three, it's a pretty good feeling. Right, and obviously it's something that you don't just prepare for this game when it gets to this week. It's everything that we do. There's a focus to make sure we're going to put ourselves in the best position to go be able to win it. And even doing that, not playing we didn't play our best game tonight, but we made the plays necessary, right, that to go win the game. And that's gonna show up in in any championship level game like this. And I just was so proud of our guys for the composure they were able to have to go make the plays that were necessary at the end.
Revisiting special teams, Alex was one of the guys that got to break the rock, one of the few guys that got to break the rock tonight. How important is it that the team is recognizing how big, what might be a smaller role is on the team? How important is it that the team is recognizing his impact?
Well, I mean, it's, every person, every player, everybody matters. And, it's not, it's easy to point to offense and defense, but when you feel and and you watch the special teams, the investment that goes in, I mean, our specialists do a great job. I mean, they work so very hard. Ryan, being a semifinalist for the Groza Award is something that, a lot of people doubted him too. Alex has been so very consistent for us this year, and we needed him to show up big today, and that happens from time to time. There's a really good offense, and there's times that he doesn't get much work, but when his number's called, he's got to be ready, and our team appreciates that. James Rosenberry, somebody I want to shout out. Obviously he's been outstanding in his operation with his snaps, and last week he was the player of the week for us. In special teams because nobody talks about him. Well, I'm glad nobody talks about him, right? You don't want people to talk about your long snapper, but he does an outstanding job as well. And just the things that we ask our guys to do, in the work and the time invested to see that show up. I think it's just a tribute to them. Obviously, Coach JP does a great job, in the planning and continuing to build that for our guys. But it's really big, and the appreciation within our team. Everybody. I think it speaks to the culture once again.
I think Jordan's the first starting quarterback to go 3-0 against Miami in the history of this rivalry. Not his best passing day, I guess, overall, but just the grit he showed. And also, could you even, in the moment, can you hear like when the crowd starts chanting his name during a break, especially where he came from, 3 or 4 years ago?
For me, I don't usually hear some of those things, but it's special that they did. And, I think when you see what Jordan Travis has meant to this program, and especially the path that he's been on, there's been ups and downs, and he's had to work, he's had to believe, he's had to grow throughout it, and he is a tremendous leader. And for him to finish up as a starting quarterback 3-0 against those guys, it's big. And I'm so proud of him. He pours so much into this team, and he cares so much. And at the end of the day, it's all about getting the win. And we were 100% on offense, not turning the ball over, and we knew that in a rivalry game that was going to be huge, right? And to see our guys, be able to have that discipline and to be able to carry that over, that's one of the things that I think doesn't get mentioned enough. Is these guys, we have explosive players. We do, but they play a disciplined brand of football too, and I'm really proud of them for being able to do that. And then obviously defensively, the takeaway when we needed it, and it was huge. In being able to seal the game there, but really proud of our guys. All right, thank you. Y'all have a great night.